Welcome to Module 7. This week, we're going to be talking about working effectively with families. So, as an educator and as a parent, and as just somebody walking through the grocery store, there have been lots of times when I've heard people make statements like, that child would behave better if the parents would just give them a good spanking, or that child acts like that because they get away with murder at home, or those parents just don't care. So, those kinds of statements are harmful for a few reasons. First of all, the vast majority of parents care about their children. It is rare that you will find a parent who truly doesn't care about their kid. It happens, but it's very rare. And so they're not accurate. And then families end up overhearing either like I do sometimes, in the grocery store, and I'm sure you have too, or, through the grapevine, it gets back to them, or they just sense that the staff at the school are critical of them. And then the family feels unsuccessful and it hurts your relationship with the family and makes them less likely to work well with you. The other reason that they are harmful is because it puts the blame for the child's behavior on the family. And often this isn't accurate. It's just a way for professionals and others whose job it is to support that individual in developing appropriate behavior to get themselves off the hook. There's nothing I can do about this kid, that it's just the family's fault. I can't change the child's behavior because the parents do X, Y, and Z. And the fact of the matter is, some individuals have a harder time learning expected behaviors. This may be because of a developmental disability. It can be because of a disability like ADHD. It can be because of environmental situation like exposure to trauma. And so, for whatever situation, you know, it's not as easy for everybody to display expected behavior as it might be for you and your kids, or your next door neighbor's kids, or whoever kids you're thinking about. Another way of looking at it is that most kids are will do well in a variety of parenting styles. Kids are really, really resilient. You may have been very lucky, and you may have parents who were just phenomenal parents. Most people have parents who are average parents. They love you, they do the best they can by you, but yeah, they make mistakes sometimes. Some people have parents who are, they're not horrible, but they're less than average, but they're adequate. That you're not hungry, but, maybe they aren't as involved with their children as they need to be, or maybe they are overly punitive, or maybe they are overly lax, or, whatever the case is, they're not great parents, but, they're not horrible. And most kids will do well with any of those types of parents. They will go on to be successful and they won't be having challenging behaviors. But some children, but because either of something, an inherent characteristic, like they were born with an intellectual disability or they were born with attention deficit disorder, or because of an acquired characteristic, like they have had exposure to repeated trauma, or like, they have, they're in the foster care system. And so they have had the trauma of being through multiple homes and having been removed from their family. Um, these kids need like superior parenting. So most parents are here. Most kids do well with parents anywhere in this range. And these kids need parents who are up here. So while yes, it may be accurate to say that child would do better with better parents, that doesn't mean that the lack of better parents caused that child's behavior. It may be that something inherent in the child caused them to be more prone towards challenging behavior. And the parents really need to up their game to above average to support their child. And depending on what else is on the family's plate, that may not be something they're currently capable of. If the family's working, 3 jobs just to pay the rent, if it's a single parent, if it's somebody who's under a lot of work stress right now, maybe they have a job that's extremely demanding. Maybe they're in the process of getting divorced. Maybe they have other children who are really demanding. Whatever the case may be, not everybody at every moment of their life has the capability of being superb parents. And so, yes, they may be a piece of what needs to change. That doesn't mean the behavior is their fault. And so it's really important that as professionals, we avoid that blame game. We avoid saying this behavior is because of the parents. Instead, look at the parents and helping the parents develop new skills as part of the solution. The same way you would with a staff member. You would hopefully not say, this child has challenges because of that staff member. Instead, you would say this staff member needs to develop new skills to adequately address this individual's needs. Families can be part of the solution. Changing families' behaviors and giving them new skills can be one of the many ways that you can support behavior change. But that doesn't mean that the behavior is the family's fault.